Hello everyone, this is Gino, Genix with GenixArt. I hope everyone's doing well and I hope they're at least having a good day. Um, so, let's see. I'm just I was doing a little bit of video editing, but you're not going to watch me do the video edits, don't worry. I'm just checking on some things. And I don't know what it is, but After Effects has been stuck and I don't know why this is oh, there it is. Oh my gosh, look at that. It was stuck, and I caught it on freaking recording. I caught it on camera. Look at that shit. Y'all saw that shit. Crazy. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. I'm sorry, guys. I've just been so all over the place, and you can blame it on Mercury retrograde. Maybe going direct. I don't know. We're still going through that whole post. Mercury retrograde thing. I'm not going to get into the whole astrology behind that, but I gotta tell you, I was doing the videos, and I don't know if y'all will remember, but if y'all follow me, y'all do know what I was doing, but I've been doing this little mascot idea, or this mascot. Here are these sketches. This is actually my cousin right here. I wanted to surprise her, but maybe she'll see the YouTube video, I don't know, but anyway, she basically opened up a ranch, and I was like, okay, let me see if I can surprise her by creating something for her, you know what I'm saying? So here we go, we have this thing, and these couple of sketches that I did of her, just being on a horse or whatever. So I like it. I like it right here. I like how everything is flowing right now. My goodness, I feel tongue-tied. I don't know why, but forgive me. Apparently, my voice or my tongue is ugh. I'm trying to speak, but whatever. It's okay. We'll survive. But as I was saying, so I was doing these braids, and these were driving me insane. They were driving me insane, guys. Yeah, and I finally found, a pattern, a structure to follow. I was just going crazy. I just had to just pull out all the stuff that made the braids, the shapes that made the braids. And yeah, this is basically what I was doing. I was just chaotic right over here. So I had to pull these things off my character, and I was like, I'm going crazy. I need to restart this whole braiding process. And it's so crazy. It's the vectorization of Illustrator. I'm a little bit disappointed because these are the braids I drew, and then I just didn't like how it happened. I don't like how it formed, so, and then even with this, I had so many issues with this. So I don't know if anybody's using Illustrator and they're kind of having issues with vectorizing certain things, because I don't know, it just seems kind of weird that I had to, I do the vectorization, but then it ends up being way more complicated to fix it and everything, because I'm trying not to do a lot of anchor points, so so I can easily manipulate these things. And so this one got very complicated, but I had to basically redo it. I had to redo this thing, and yeah, it was right over here. It did not do well with the vectorization. And I think I actually did show you guys one time, I think, or no. I was on LinkedIn, I actually did a video to see if I could get some help, and nobody really replied on that, application. But anyways, it looks like I'm gotten into a better rhythm with this character. It's a little bit weird that I go through these struggles with technology, but then I'm all right, whatever, challenge accepted, and I just make the best of it. So, you know, and I also find it interesting, and I had this realization about myself, is that like, I've always been kind of like, I've always had issues with like technology. I will say, like, I feel like I've been like, what's what's it called, like, behind on technology. Um, I don't know. That's just how I feel. I feel like I'm just now keeping up, and I am keeping up. I am definitely keeping up with the technologies, people. But it's like sometimes it can be overwhelming how technology can just like, I won't say fail, but it gets kind of like, oh my god, technology, you're supposed to be easier. You're supposed to help me out. What's going on? Oh, okay. I don't know what this is. Huh? Okay, there we go. Got rid of that mess. Let's see, unlock path. There we go. And as you can see, there's still some hidden stuff behind the shape. So I still have a good amount of cleanup, but I'm in a better, I'm in a better like space with this. So yeah, I'll just be doing these braids. So I hope this isn't like too boring for you guys, but hey, like, this is the content that I have. So enjoy or not enjoy. And I'm pretty sure there's an easier way to do this, but whatever. But it's like interesting how you can just find a rhythm and just be like, all right, this is how it goes. And if you're ever in a difficult situation, I guess you can use this as a parable or something, or a lesson, like, hey, just keep going at it, because I kept going at it. So whatever, if I can figure out a fucking situation, you can figure out a fucking situation. So believe in yourself. I believe in you, damn it. Because trust me, I've had so many mistakes when it comes to like technology, but when you don't give up, and when you just continue to be in that space of just learning, you never know what could happen. Okay. Okay. Looks like I'm gonna have to cut it off right here. Oof, okay. I'm just so glad like I figured that out, guys. I was worried for a minute. I was like, oh my god. Oh, also, I might as well just start talking more about, career stuff on here. Um, so I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm thinking about pivoting. I mean, I'm gonna always be a graphic designer and an artist, but I'm not gonna lie, my mom's been, just because of the job market, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of making me kind of nervous, but of course, look at me, I'm kind of like trying to be calm or whatever, but uh, so long story short, and I'm not gonna like freaking shoot, I'm not gonna like oh my goodness. I mean, all I have to do is just talk. I'm not gonna like, just dilly dally with whatever I'm trying to say. See, I just get kind of like tongue tied, guys, or I just can't think of the right words. That's my problem. But I'm not gonna waste y'all's time, for a lack of a better term. I'll just get right out here and spit it. Like I was thinking like cybersecurity, because apparently like cybersecurity is this new thing that people are opting for and getting certifications. And I'm not gonna lie, there have been so many situations where my mom is like, hey, how's the job hunt going? And I'm doing the whole graphic design thing, and as you know, it's a little bit hard to get into get into an agency or whatever. Or maybe I'm making it harder, I don't know. But I also know that there's a lot of competition. So, there is that's going on. So I've been looking at like cybersecurity videos and stuff like that, just trying to make sure, like, is this really what I want to do? You know what I'm saying? Is this really what I want to do? And and I don't want to just choose something out of like survival, because if you choose something out of survival, that does not guarantee that it's going to be a good thing for you. You're basically choosing the thing out of fear. So I mean, it may be a smart venture for me, but I'm also kind of like, oh gosh, I really wish I can just get a job in graphic design. And but unfortunately I did get my education through a community college. And not to dissuade anybody from going to community college. Community college was amazing, but unfortunately when I got into it, unfortunately the program was not updated, and then we had a teacher that was kind of like a rude awakening, and I was like, oh my gosh. And honestly, I am going to talk about my experience with that teacher, because it was absolutely horrendous. Like, I feel like I've been trying to go through the whole, like, well, I'm pretty sure, there was a reason for why. I mean, there was definitely a reason for why she acted the way she acted, but the way she acted was very unprofessional. And all I gotta say is this: like, if you're just gonna be a teacher for social reasons and narcissistic reasons, please don't be a teacher. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. But anyway, that's enough of me talking about this lady. We'll talk about her later, because she basically kind of broke my spirit a little bit, and she broke up some other people's spirits that I know of, and it wasn't cool. I mean, I literally was like in tears that last time I was in school. It was so bad. And but yeah, like, I mean, it was insane. I couldn't believe like that happened to me, but it did. Ooh. But sometimes, like, you have to be the alchemist in life, and you have to turn the lemons into lemonade, and that's what alchemy is, right? You have to alchemicalize the pain that you had and see what you can do with what you were given. So, I learned graphic design. Even though she barely, I'm going to say this, I don't think she really taught me anything. I think she just, there was a lot of like gatekeeping, a lot of her just getting frustrated with me, until she just finally just gave me the answers for something. And she's like, lady, I'm just asking you some questions. You don't have to be rude, and you don't have to make me feel like I'm idiotic or stupid. That's not needed. And she did do that. And again, this is not what this episode's about. But I will say this. Though. I will say this. Um, like I said, you have to be an alchemist in this world because there are going to be people that are going to be like that, that are going to be rough and gatekeep certain information and you know and they will always expose themselves. Narcissists will always expose themselves, and they will always expose like their agendas, and they'll always expose themselves. I feel like, and she definitely did, and there was evidence. There was definitely a lot of evidence. So I mean, people can back me up on what I experienced because getting yelled at in front of the class. I don't know how anybody can actually like learn from that, but whatever. Anyways, I'm gonna like pivot away from that thought because but I will say one thing. If you are dealing with like a difficult teacher, and you're getting a sense that you're dealing with a difficult teacher, I will say like, and if you have that thought that, oh my God, I'm going to have to talk to somebody, about this lady, just go ahead and just do it. Just go ahead and just make a point to just go ahead and do it, because when I went to the dean, her attitude changed towards me. It was so wild. I was like, wow, okay. It could have been nice, but, whatever. But in the words of my sister, like, you can't really change people. People want to be the way that they are, let them. There is just no need in trying to change people. Why? For what reason? If that's who they are, that's who they are. But, the thing is, I will say, like, one way that you can the one way that I did alchemicalize, like, my situation was just, like, kind of like being like, okay, so what is this lady not telling me? And then I just go and do my own research, and YouTube became my own way of educating myself, and, when this lady was not helping me at all. She wasn't even teaching me. She was literally playing favorites. You have to sometimes, when you're dealing with a difficult teacher, and this is something I had to deal with every situation, like never depend on one teacher for your information, because sometimes you got teachers that will gatekeep information from you. I don't know why they do it. It is one of the most ridiculous things that I can think anybody can do. Like, people are coming to school to learn, yet why are you purposely, not telling people certain things? And I don't know if it's a test, I don't know. And I don't know, even if it was a test, that's great, I guess, but it also felt like psychological, manipulation. So I do think like there are probably some other teachers like this lady out there. So, all I'm saying is like, don't give up on your education. If you're in school, if you are dealing with somebody that, is gatekeeping information from you and basically not providing you anything at all, look, there are other people that are above that teacher that you can talk to. That teacher is not God. And, if you feel like you need to just talk to somebody, go and do that. Because more than likely, if they're giving you a problem, they're also giving other students problems. So, and trust me, there was a good amount of students that were complaining about this person, but, anyway, anywho, back to this rancher lady. So a little bit about my cousin. Honestly, have not met her too much. She lived out in California, and now she's living in Texas. I follow her on Facebook. Her name is Stephanie. She was actually a skater. She still is a skater, but I think she's kind of like not doing too much of that anymore. And so, um, after the malarkey of like 2020 and all the protests that have been going on, she was like, "Fuck California." She just said, "I'm gonna move to Texas." And I've been following her, and she has her own ranch there. She likes horses and everything, and I'm like, let me see what I can do for her. Let me see what I can do for this lady with my with with my gift. Let me see what I can do. Oh my gosh. What the hell? Sorry, like for some reason something was not. Oh god, I hate. Sometimes like Illustrator can just be a bitch, and it's like you gotta work small. That's what my teacher told me. It's like work small. Sure to work small. And yeah, you should work small when you're using this program. It can be annoying as hell. What? Okay, there we go. I was like, Illustrator, stop your bullshit. Work for me. Oh, there we go. Y'all almost heard me hearing my tunes. Sometimes I do sing. Sometimes I do kind of like somewhat sing. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to sing in public. I don't know. I don't know if y'all really want to hear my siren banshee scream when I'm like singing, especially when I got like the TV right over here and I have YouTube playing and like got some good ass music. Oh, also I just thought of this. So I've been playing Destiny, and I think what I'm going to do is like actually, I think I'm gonna play the story, like the Edge of Fate story tonight. I told my friend like I want to actually play the story a good amount before I like actually play Xbox with him this weekend. So I gotta remind him that like, hey, let me let me play the story a little bit because I like to play the story kind of like by myself. I don't like to, you know, play the story with somebody and then I'm like, okay, like something's going on in his household and I'm like, all right, I'm a little bit annoyed. So I'm trying to avoid that because I like to, because I like the story behind Destiny. I like what's going on. And it looks pretty good. And I'm just like, I'm ready to play it. So I'm ready. I'm ready to just like, enjoy the game a little bit. So that's what I'll be doing along with this. And I may just do some YouTube videos as well. As I'm, oh my gosh. I'm sorry, like, that thing was not trying to be played with. Okay. Oh, fuck. There we go. So yeah, I'll be doing that this weekend. So, I'm playing it on Xbox, but what games are y'all playing? And, if you are playing Destiny, what class of character are you playing? Like, and you know what I'm talking about. Are you a warlock? Are you a titan? Are you a hunter? I'm a warlock, and I'll always be a warlock. Fuck all the other classes. Especially the damn titans that keep punching me in fucking Crucible. It's annoying as hell. Like, y'all can go to hell. Oh, fucking hell. Okay. Ooh, these shapes are rough. These shapes are rough, people, but we'll get better with this. We'll get better with this. I think this is when the art starts coming a little bit more alive for me. Like, when I'm done with the cleanup process and I actually can apply like actual color in this. So I hope this isn't too boring for you guys. And if it is boring, I am so sorry. Why are you here? Also, if you are seeing this and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Like, no, like, seriously, I'm like, support people. Support people. I gotta remind y'all to support the local artists. Support the local artists. Support your local creators. Support them whenever you can. I'm going to let these shapes be a little bit crude just so I can get it done. So, there we go. Okay. Oh, God. Yeah, sometimes it's better to just do the crude shapes before anything else. Oh my god. Illustrator. Illustrator's just being a diva today. Or maybe it's just the fact that I'm actually like, oh my gosh. Maybe it's just the fact that I'm just like, acting squirrely on this system. But anyway, I will say this, I am going to keep this video relatively short. Like, no, like Haki, I always say that, but no, this is going to be relatively short because I do have some things I gotta do. Okay, I kind of like what's going on here. So yeah. Yeah. Let's see. So I just randomly just thought of this movie, and just given with the political climate, V for Vendetta. I feel like I need to just watch V for Vendetta, um, because I just thought of this quote in the movie where it said "God is in the rain," and I don't know why I just thought of that. It's just so random, but I think it's a good reminder that God is in nature, I guess you can say that, but um, I just think it's like everything around you is divine. So, I guess whatever spirit that I'm channeling or whatever wanted me to tell you guys that, you know. But I did think about that scene, if you know what I'm talking about. Uh, and I would totally show you guys because like I like seeing scenes before like I get into the art. Um, I like doing like little scenes and like seeing them before you know I do anything. Um, but yeah, there was a scene where there was this woman. I don't know why I'm thinking her name is Sarah, but or is it Elizabeth? I'm not really sure. But there was a scene where she was kind of like captured and she was kind of tortured, right? But then that torture was turns out to be kind of fake or whatever. She had to go through some things, and there's a guy named V. He's like a protagonist slash oh god, what is the term? It's something like what Batman is. A vigilante? Yeah, like he's a vigilante. And like so this guy is a vigilante. He kidnaps this woman that I think he had the hots for, or he reminded her of somebody. But there was this heartfelt like little sub story in it, like this mini story within it, and it's kind of touching. Again, I'm gonna be butchering it. I'm just trying to like summarize it real quick because like again I'm trying to like wrap up the video. But basically she was tortured, and it was all a series of tests. It was basically a test to test her loyalty. And then she was like, what the fuck? And then she kind of had her own little moment. She went outside. It was like storming, and it's such a beautiful scene where it's like she was like set free, and just realizing like, oh shit, I did go through this thing, and everything that I know is a lie. It's a lot. It's intense, and I recommend that you guys actually like watch that movie. V's a little intense. I do like the character. I like him. He's cool. Definitely not what the government actually likes. Let's just say that definitely isn't. What the government definitely does not want a V type of character running amok. But I don't know. Maybe we need a V. I don't know. I nowadays I think we may need a V. To save us all from the tyrannies of what's been going on. But anywho, I'm about to stop right over here. Alright, yeah, that's good. So yeah, I'm just trying to get these values together, you know, make her look a little bit better. But yeah, I'll probably be doing more videos on this person. Okay, the fact that her last name is Person. I'll be working on this mascot off and on this weekend, and I'll be filming it because I need to get my content out there and get myself out there. But you know, I like what's going on here, and I'm hoping to like just move on with like more mascot ideas, you know. But I also am just kind of like, I'm trying to make sure I have like a good rhythm and flow, you know, not to overwhelm myself. But you know, anyways, I'm just looking at the time. Guys, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today's Friday. Again, not sure if I'm going to be posting this. Well, I do hope to post this tonight, but I have one more video that I have to upload onto YouTube, and then I have this one to upload to YouTube. So I'll try and upload both videos tonight. We'll see what happens. We'll see. We'll just see what happens here. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a good Friday. My Friday's been pretty good, and I did something that was like really like kind of I wouldn't say out of character, because I'm trying to be a little bit more organized, trying to be a little bit more cleaner, because I was listening to this spiritual witchy lady or whatever. Her name's the Share Goddess, and I think you guys may know who she is. She always says, anytime she does a little gem, she always says sprinkle sprinkle, and it's so catchy. It'll just be in my mind. I'm like, oh my god, that is such excellent marketing. If you know, you know. You know, she's on TikTok, and I actually watch her YouTube channel. It's pretty good. But she said, like, you know, it's important to keep wherever areas that you're working in clean, you know, so that the energy can just like, you know, flow better. And the way that she explained it kind of made me feel like, oh my god, I really do need to pick up those dirty socks on the floor. So one message I'm going to leave for you on this Friday is clean your room, clean whatever it is. Get that sock or the drawers, those draws or whatever the Southerners say. Get that underwear off that floor. Get the socks off the floor. You know, put that in the clothes bin and wash your clothes and dust whenever you can. Yeah, that's. Damn, I didn't expect to tell you all that. Like, clean your room. Clean your room, bitches. Okay, I'm having too much fun. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful day. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Again, this is Gino/Genix signing off this Friday, and I'll catch you guys on the next little GenixArt video. Diaries. See ya.